I do this as the Tom Peterson.
No, is that right? Can I
met before?
Oh, we have actually. So
Yes,
that's
I
right.
thought so.
Up on some bleak mountain in Wales.
That's it. That's it. We were doing some awful exercise, like you were.
Well, in fact, yes, we were.
And what about the competition? Did you had a? It was pretty grueling. Oh, was it? And that's how long? How far do you have to do?
18 kilometres.
18 kilometres. Pretty hard work.
No, it's all right, it's good fun.
Was it?
Yeah, I enjoy things like that.
And you survived to shoot quite accurately.
Oh, yes, I do.
But is that trouble thing, isn't it, telling yourself to go on, even though the legs are telling you they don't want to go on? Yes. Did you feel like that?
So how much are you going to push all the way?
And what's the job?
I work in the leisure centre, sir. Manager of a manpower scheme. Yeah.
And that's sort of organising a whole lot of...
Yeah, it's organising a scheme of 10 workers. It's normal sports centre work. Always remember to concentrate on your back. You don't want to get a broken back. Okay?
So you've got used to the cameras, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. They're fairly good. They stay in the background quite well. So
do they?
Don't get in your way. So.
The 1st of March. The officers of the 3rd Battalion celebrate St. David's Day at Cardiff Castle. They remember the glorious history of their forebears in the 24th 41st Foot and invite newcomers to partake in that ancient Welsh military custom of eating the leek. It's a far cry from the warmth of the banquet to 8:30 on a cold February morning at the new drill hall at Blackwood in the South Wales valleys, where this month's intake of prospective recruits see what they can make of the army. For some of them, it's going to be both bewildering and frightening. For some from the tight communities of the South Wales valleys, this weekend will hold few surprises that cannot be coped with. And for some, the weekend will end in rejection.
Absolute MA. Oh, absolute MA.
Absolute MA, right?
Is what?
Absolute.
Mark Vatsalou, ladies' hairdresser from Cardiff. What does he think at this moment?
I think a slight feeling of nervousness, really. I didn't really know what to expect in depth, you know.
What's his name?
Jenkins.
Jenkins. J. Juliet. Delta Company.
Squad 1.
Peter
New.
New SB.
SB, you're in Squad 3. Okay? And your table, the moment you go and sit down, is table 11.
Okay.
What sort of people does Stephen New think the army are looking for?
Obviously, they want people who are disciplined, you know. I mean, it's the whole point of the army. People who can control themselves, maybe control others when they go up the ranks, you know. It's awkward to know what they want, but hopefully it's the same as what I want.
Richard Hunt has already tried and failed to become an officer in the regular army. Why did Adrian Rogers come here on this weekend?
Everybody was on about it, like, my next door neighbour, wasn't he? And they said it was exciting, and my buddy, David, he was down there. And he asked me to join with him, so I went down and joined.
Now, we're not looking for the type of person who's going to be a finalist in, say, Mastermind or the Krypton Factor or anything like that. And we're not trying to produce a regiment of Rambos. What we need is straightforward, ordinary lads who are reasonably intelligent, physically fit and healthy, but above all, who are enthusiastic and really wish to be a member of the TA and is interested in military activities.
Slow it down, you buggers in the front. Come on, you're dragging the arse end along again.
The first military activity is the 3-mile run, a tall task if you are not truly fit. Richard Hunt.
To begin with, the physical side was difficult. There's no doubt that the territorials do take the man off the street and make them fitter. Your average TA man is fitter.
Right, I've filter nice and easy into a double file. Sort yourself out in a double file. Keep that pace. Keep that pace. Keep it going. That's good. Get over to the right slightly. Come on. You buggers want too much room. You're getting too well fed. Keep it up. Come on, close.
Halfway through the run, and they are shortly due for what they have happily assumed is the halfway 2-minute rest period. This is how the rest period starts.
Everybody down, sitting down. Here we go. Hands behind the head. Back. And up. Well done. That's good. Get your hands behind the head. Who's up there? Yes, I got you. Come on, Ed. And you, hands behind the head, look. Push them out. Get them out. Speed them out. That's good. That's good. Go on in, push them out. Go on in, push them out. That's good. Well done. Well done. Roll over. Let's finish off with 20 good press-ups. 20 good ones. Come on in, quickly. Taking too long. Get the seat down, bend your arms. Arm and shoulder.
Mark Vatsulu, like some of the others, had thought he was reasonably fit.
I didn't sort of do any sort of training, if you like. I mean, that was the first run I'd actually done since I was in school, and that's why I found it so difficult.
Come on, then, let's have a sprint, let's have a sprint. Good effort, all the way. Come on, and let's see you catching him. Down there, where you are, down there. Come on, in. Come on, in. Good finish.
Come on then, keep going. Keep the legs going. Come on, effort now. Last couple of yards now, come on.
Some of you didn't give a best effort. Got to forget about the pain, you just got to keep going. And especially when you see the finishing line, you've got to make an effort. And then if you want to die, you die on the finishing line. Yeah? A little bit of luck in there, but there's a few of you got a bit to go. Yeah? Bit of weight to lose, a little bit of effort when it's needed.
What I'd like you to do now is just pick up your weapons and lay them across your laps. First thing we'll go on to, lads, is naming of the parts of the weapon. OK?
2:15, and they have their first look at the SLR, the self-loading rifle.
So as I point on my weapon, have a look at your own, and I will tell you what it is, all right?
The weapon is about to be replaced by the new NATO rifle, the SA-80, which is so accurate that even the poorest marksman will score top marks on a firing range.
OK? Uninstructed intelligence, we all know the barrel. Underneath the barrel is what we call a bayonet boss. This is for attaching the bayonet to the weapon.
The afternoon is a busy one, with the emphasis on physical effort. The strength tests are conducted on the parade ground outside. This requires stamina and willpower, as well as fitness.
We have the pistol grip, the trigger, and the trigger guard. The trigger guard can be removed for Arctic conditions.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Come on, come on! 1, 2, 3,
32, 33, 34, 35.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well done, Vatsulu.
Mark Vatsulu, once a hairdresser's model for the brothers Constantinou in Cardiff, is now saving money to start a permanent hairdressing salon.
A lot of people actually laugh about it in the TA because it's one of the most unusual jobs, civilian jobs, that anyone's got, anyone I know anyway, especially if you're in the army. You know, there was a few jokes made when I first joined, but now they're okay because they all have a haircut, you know. But I actually go around to people's houses and cut their hair. Well, not just cut it, I, you know, do ladies, perms, colours, everything, you know. But I'm actually looking for a shop at the moment. You know, I think I'd rather be based in one place. The TA does take a lot of my weekend work away, you know. I sort of wound things down a bit at the moment. I have to keep my weekends free, really, because being in the TA, you do sort of go away a lot on the weekends.
His TA activities have rather cut down his ability to make money doing this.
Sounds like you're taking a while.
It does, doesn't it? But it's, I can assure you it's not.
Does it take long to grow back into a bob?
No, your hair grows very quick by the look of it, anyway.
We want to know, is this weapon safe? Okay? And the way we do it is, hold the weapon up, all right? Now, I will do some at first, then you will do it, okay? Make sure, with the index finger, that the safety catch is uppermost at safe. All we have to do then is pull the cock and handle fully to the rear as far as it'll go. Now, holding it back to the rear, with your Saturday night finger, push up on the holding and opening device. And then if you take your hands away, then the working parts should be held to the rear.
Adrian Rogers had a struggle to get through the various exam papers this morning. He is a self-confessed, very slow reader. But this is what he wants to do. Learn how to handle a rifle.
No, next one. That's him. Push him up. Just only a little touch he needs.
No. Lovely boy. What's your name? Rogers. Where are you from? New Tredegar. That's getting even worse. When I tell Sergeant Cook and you from New Tredegar, he'd be jumping all over you, because he's from New Tredegar and he thinks he's the smartest thing since sliced bread. And you would one of them blokes, camera boys. Oh, okay now. Right, when I give you a quick march, I want you to follow him around, Rogers, all right? You want it now, because I got your name now, you fucking had it. By the front! Quick! March! Left! Right! Left!
When I march,
right,
when you just say
left, right,
you're supposed to, on the right, when you say it on the right. But, you know, I just can't get it. Like, you'd, like, scrape the one foot and then stamp, and then slout. I just can't get it.
Now Adrian loses his nerve and gets the orders wrong.
No gaps between the arms. All right, let's try it. Squad. Stand easy! Stand easy. Don't laugh at me. I'm not a pig, yeah? What are you smiling at? You know if you fucking coming or going. You know if you're with the fucking wallet or with us, you... No, slow it down. Slow it down. You only go down the road for a pack of fags. That's all you go down the road for. Look at him, look at him. Oh, they got him all right. What camp are you from, Bush? What camp are you from? Ah. Oh, no, we got him. Oh, we fucking got him. Trouble is, you got the red shoes on. I can't miss him, can I?
Everywhere I went, they took a mickey with my red shoes. Called me Dorothy because of my red shoes. From the Wizard of Oz.
I'll be calling right. But at least we might try and keep in step. Is that understood? All right, adopt the correct position of attention. Now, don't forget to step off as soon as you're the word of command, march. By the front! Quick! March! Left!
Adrian's going to have difficulty getting the hang of marching.
I couldn't get, just couldn't get a step. And I was out all the time. You know, I had to start to worry, like, it takes me longer to do stuff than, you know, other people, like.
Left, right.
Take a chair each.
Perhaps, surprisingly, Adrian Rogers has survived. But 15% of the new intake have failed the tests. Another 15% will drop out in the first few weeks.
Right, boys, now I brought you in to tell you, actually, that you have not successfully completed this particular assessment weekend. All right, you have failed. I, Adrian Graham William Rogers.
I, Graham William Rogers.
Swear by Almighty God.
Swear by Almighty God.
That I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance.
And bear true allegiance.
To Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth.
Right. To Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
To Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Her heirs and successors.
Her heirs and successors.
And that I will.
And that I will.
As in duty bound.
As in duty bound.
Honestly and faithfully.
Honestly and faithfully.
Defend Her Majesty.
Defend Her Majesty.
Her heirs and successors.
Her heirs and successors.
In person, crown and dignity.
In person, crown and dignity.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Congratulations, Rogers, now a member of the Territorial Army.
Adrian has been working on the youth training scheme being run near his home. He was good at metalwork and PE at school. He is 17 and a half and left school 2 years ago. There are few work opportunities here in New Tredegar. His father is unemployed after suffering an accident at work, and his mother is a cleaner at the local school. For Adrian, the army is a window on a world that he otherwise would not see.
I didn't see it right there.
6 weeks later, the beginning of April, the new recruits are at Crickhowell for one of the first training weekends. And they are being allowed to fire, for the first time, the SA-80, the new NATO rifle, which has an optical sight which gives ×4 magnification and has a capability of carrying twice as much ammunition as the old SLR. It is a weapon they will be using a great deal in the future.
Pretty good shot, right? So they said if the weapon was zeroed for you.
Yeah, because they're all below the target.
Yeah. Right, so how do you find it, okay? Nice, a good weapon.
All he's going to do now is come across an inch and up 2 inches and close it right in.
All we have to do is slightly make alterations onto the weapon and you'd be smack on the target.
Now the first try at field craft, the ability to conceal, and the ability to fight and kill under pressure. This time it's just thunder flashes and the shouting of the sergeant major. Soon at Litchfield, where for a fortnight they get trained by full-time army personnel, the pressure in these sort of skills will intensify beyond measure.
It was a recruits reception training scene weekend where we actually sort of done some training prior to Litchfield to get us used to what we were actually going to do in Litchfield.
With this sort of pressure on them in their spare time, how can they cope with work? Stephen knew.
Time-wise is all right. Physical-wise is fine, but the main problems I'm having is, for example, last night I was working in the sports centre from midday until 3 o'clock in the morning because we had a function on, an 18th birthday party. So it meant I got home about 4 o'clock and I had to be up at 5:30, 6 o'clock to be at barracks by 7. So, I mean, I only got 1.5 hours sleep last night. So that's my main problem, not commitment-wise.
Well, the people who are watching this are going to say, well, why do you do it?
I must be a sadist. I enjoy it. I've got a good job down at Channelview Leisure Centre. I love the work there. I enjoy doing this. I'll sleep Sunday. after this weekend's over.
Come on, you've got to run now. You've got to work. Down! Keep fighting!
If you can see the enemy, you should be fighting. All right, move around. Now, once you people come into your sight, sorry for your fire.
It's quite intensive. We've been told that the training we're doing would take a regular soldier 13 weeks to do. And having been in the classroom for the past 6 months, it's been... I've been used to shoving information in pretty quickly, but I think some of the others are finding it a little bit tough. They're going to go over things a few times.
And what about the things that you've disliked doing?
Dislike getting shouted at, dislike doing the ironing. This thing is filthy at the moment. It's got to be cleaned tomorrow, ironed. And it's going to be a bit of a pain tonight.
Number 1 section, half left, enemy, rapid, fire! Come on, why aren't you keeping firing? Don't tell me you can't see from there. Come on, you should still be firing. Bravo firing team, give covering fire. For Alpha fire team to move. Alpha fire team, go right flank in.
Adrian Rogers, physically very fit, has started to enjoy the last few weeks. What does he still find difficult?
Map reading and all that was fine, I don't know. And the run, I can do that. Fitness thing, I'm alright at that. It was just like gripping the, you know, parts of the gun I couldn't remember, but I'm alright on him now.
You think you're going to go on?
Yeah, right, yeah.
What do your mates back in New Tredegar think about that?
Well, they take the mickey out of me, like, call me Rambo and that, but it's just, you know, what I like.
Litchfield, the cradle of the modern professional infantry unit. Our 4 volunteers have been put under intensive pressure for a fortnight. Anyone familiar with army training over the last 50 years will recognize these parade grounds, the Victorian barrack blocks and their rooms, which the startled recruit is told to turn into a palace overnight, an army euphemism for polishing and regimenting into line every artifact in sight. Stephen knew.
The first weekend was very intensive. It's the fact that you think, you know, oh no, I've been here 2 days, I've got another 12 days to go. How am I going to last? But I found that after about the first, say into the 3rd day, 4th day, I was beginning to get into a routine. And once you're in a routine, you know what's going to happen, you know what to expect. So it's just the initial first few days of not knowing what to expect. And to some people, well, to all of us, it came as a shock to the system. It's meant to. It's the idea. It's why the army do it. Some people could take it. The majority, luckily, was on our course. and obviously the odd one or two couldn't. I think you'll find we all settled down after the first 2 or 3 days. You know, we all got to know each other. I was lucky. I knew about 7 or 8 of the other blokes who were from the Welsh regiments. Some people were there more or less by themselves. I don't even know if they were the ones who left, but it might help, you know, contribute to the fact.
Mark Vatsulu is exhausted, missing his home and his wife back in Cardiff. Richard Hunt, also tired, is more philosophical about the regime. He still wants to become an officer. Some of the so-called army discipline he has found necessary, but irritating.
How's it been going? Reasonably well. Very tiring. Early mornings. Early morning runs. We've been hosed down. We've been gassed. Lots more ironing.
You didn't like that?
No, that's my pet hate.
Service discipline has been the most difficult thing to master for Adrian Rogers. He has already been castigated for addressing the battalion commander, a colonel, as sergeant during his stay at Crickhowell. Here at Litchfield, he again failed to recognise authority when it spoke to him, and as a result, very nearly spent a night in a cell in the guardhouse. Perhaps his infectious grin just saved him.
When we come back from the exercise, he was like, I had all camera cream and all that over me. And he said, what's that on your face for? And I said, is there any business to do with us? Because I thought he was one of the, regulars. And they gave me an outfit.
You shouldn't have done that, should you?
I thought I would have been on my way. Because of that. He's been all right now since. Tried my best.
Are you going to stick it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Stuck it this far. Nothing else can be as good. Well, some have been easy and some have been hard, so, the shooting's nice. But, the obstacle course and all that, that was hard, but everything, it's been fine. Been all right.
What's the hardest thing been for you?
Get up in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning is hard.
Mark Vatsulu, although very tired, is determined not to give up.
How's it going so far?
Well, I think I've difficultly managed to survive this long. I mean, it's been really difficult. I mean, I found it difficult anyway. And so long it was. The pressure seems to build up from day one, and it gets harder and harder and harder. They expect you to do much more out of you every day. So it's like a screw being tightened on your head every day, and
What particularly has been difficult for you?
I think the lack of sleep. I mean, we've been having an average of between 3 and 4 hours sleep a night, and the time that you are up, you're working all the time. You don't really you get sort of 20 minutes for lunch, so you're rushing into lunch, and it's a fight to get to lunch, and then it's a fight to get to breakfast, and the same for tea, and then you've got to get all your beds made up, your lockers laid out for the next day, so you're not getting to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you're up again between 4 and 5, so that's what I find the hardest, and the discipline.
Adrian Rogers has found no difficulty in getting on with his mates from Wales in the barrack room. Stephen New is also still cheerful.
Have you enjoyed any particular parts more than others?
Yeah, the exercise, the best for me, yeah, definitely. I was better at it, mainly. You do 2 competitions there, one called a red light game, where it's dark at night, you come out from your safe base and you've got to go, I think it's something like half a mile, maybe a mile, and, without being seen by the 8 NCOs. You've got to get to this hut, and you've got something like that. Is it 30-minute time? 30 minutes? We had 30 minutes. 40 minutes, maybe, 40 minutes. And there was only 4 of us managed to get in out of 53. Quite good. And the following morning, you have to do a snipe competition, which was you're lined up at the top of a field, and there's a bank the other side of the field. I suppose about 500, 600 metres, and you've got to get unseen within 35 minutes from your position to within 20 metres of the NCOs and shoot them, which was nice revenge. There's only 3 of us out of the 53 done that, so which was very nice. So it scared the life out of the NCO, get the revenge.
So you feel you're going to continue with this?
Oh, definitely, yeah. As long as we haven't got no more locker inspections, is it? No, one left now, so we've had most of them now. Just the commanding officers tomorrow, and that's all over then.
We're going to film you tomorrow doing that. What don't you like about locker inspection?
Just the work. I mean, tonight we'll be up until gone 12, getting it all ready. Cleanings, you know, dennings and that, and the combats. The lockers itself, once... The first week we had to come and do everything, you know, because it was in a real bad mess. So we've got most of the jobs done now. But it's just, you know, keeping everything pristine and that. I mean, tonight we have to get creases in our jackets and all that. Creases down the trams, there's no tram lines, no marks on it at all. It's got to be, you know, 100%, well, 101% clean. Otherwise, we get sent down to jail in an hour of press-ups.
Richard Hunt, although a natural loner, is enjoying the company.
There is a sense of camaraderie which you don't really find elsewhere.
Yeah.
When we had got to know each other after a few days, we really did pull together as a team, and it showed. We were happy doing our work.
Shooting, the essential quality for the infantryman, is honed and polished here. A great deal of emphasis is placed on the scoring.
Hunter mark is 25, HPS 50. Rogers, 29, pass. Price, 14, fail, sledge. Mansell, 21, fail. Ramsdale, 40, well done, pass. Furlong, 9, it's Furlong. Buckley, 4, it's Buckley. Stobo, 20, fail. Baxaloo, 23, fail.
The back sight on the recoil comes back and it hit my glasses. They've smashed and I don't want to get any more glass flying towards my eyes.
Bad luck.
Yeah, it is actually. I did pretty well on the first part, but I can't carry on with these. So. 16.
Richard Hunt is a mining student at Pontypridd Technical College.
183. 16. 20.
Okay. No in the face race mode. Transit to telescope.
Both his parents are teachers, and there is a great deal of parental pressure on him to do well academically.
I'm transferring up to Sheffield Polytechnic to do a degree, and over the course of the next 4 years, which is the duration of the course, I have to decide further which way I'm going to lean.
Or particularly if you're doing surveys?
I'm going to join the Officer Training Corps, hopefully, in Sheffield, and I shall do my utmost to gain a commission in either the regulars or the territorials through them.
Actually, to probably the nearest millimetre.
Look down, Hunt. Tilt your boot to the left or the right. Have you poised them?
I did this morning, sir.
Sorry?
I did this morning, sir.
I want to talk about this morning. Have you poised them prior to coming on parade?
No, Sergeant.
Get your wrist back now, Rogers.
The fortnight is nearly over. This is Sergeant McAvoy's moment to find out who can last longest in the elimination parade. You get sent off for scruffy uniform or boots.
You've blown it. Those boots are dirty. You understand?
Sergeant.
Lift that foot forward. Look. Spud.
Sergeant.
Just confirms what I said at the beginning, didn't it?
Sergeant. Goodbye, Sergeant.
Goodbye. That's it now. open order. Right. Press. Away you go. Away you go. At arm's distance from the man to your right. Unless you're on the orangutan, that is not an arm's distance.
The drill gets progressively more complicated as it goes along.
Changing step. Change step.
Get away! Go on, get away!
New, Vatsalou and Rogers have already fallen by the wayside. The corporals and sergeants of the various platoons fuss around the soldiers like terrier dogs, barking a mixture of abuse, comments and instructions, which, if you are a soldier, you take without batting an eyelid.
Change step.
Go away,
Change step.
you know he's done wrong, you know. You lunatic.
Change step. Change step. Left, voice, left, voice, left, voice, there.
I suppose a weak character wouldn't last 2 minutes in Litchfield. I mean, you have to have some sort of character and strong personality and a sense of humour. I mean, they told us that when we actually got there. I mean, you need your sense of humour in a place like that. So don't lose it.
Turn.
Alright, go on, Lee. Yes,
Squad. Out. Belts. Time. What's your name? What regiment?
4th Battalion, Royal Regiment of Wales, Sergeant.
Mullen, 4th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Wales is the winner. Well done.
7:30 on the last morning. The commanding officer's inspection of the barrack room and their kit.
24798388, Private Rogers, 3rd Royal Regiment of Wales.
Steady. Good, all right. Just steady on, all right?
Sure.
I'm the same as you. Just a little bit higher rank. So don't worry about that. Where do you come from? Yeah, I know that. But whereabouts?
21 miles out of Cardiff, sir.
Out of Cardiff. What do you do in Civvy Street?
YTS. Sir.
And what do you do on the YTS?
Bricklayer, sir.
Bricklayer. Is that good?
Sure.
Enjoy that, do you?
In the summer, sir.
Yeah, in the winter it's not very good. Are you actually running the line? Or building corners, or?
Yeah, coins and everything.
You're doing all those bits and pieces, huh? Good.
What do you do after?
And do the TA compliment your civvy and bring in a few extra pounds, is it?
Sure.
Good, well done.
Sir, I am 2479870, Private Hunt, 3rd Battalion, Royal Regiment of Wales. Sir.
Good. I'm going to touch you. That's it. That's where that should be. You've got bits and pieces all over. What do you do in Civvy Street?
I'm a student, sir.
A student? Studying what?
Mineral surveying, sir.
Good. And what do you hope to be when you finished all that? What do you
I'd
want
like
to
to join
do?
the Royal Engineers as an officer, sir.
What will you take with you when you go to Sandhurst? What thing is burnt into your brain?
Fitness, sir.
Fitness? Is that all? You're going to be an officer, young man. You want to take more than fitness. All these guys are going to be yours, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Think about their welfare first, all right?
I am 24798387, Private New, 3rd Battalion, Royal Regiment of Wales, sir.
Where do you come from? You?
Cardiff, sir.
What do you do in Civvy Street?
Working in sports
I've
sectors.
been at the centre now for a year and a half.
Doing what?
The first job I had there was supervisor, full-time, 40 hours a week. It was when this centre first opened.
Morning, again. Any post?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, more bills a bit. Thanks so much, Gary.
Body in line, there, have flick. We had quite a few problems at the start with the young elements, but I suppose every centre that opens up nowadays gets that, so I suppose that was a quality I learned that could help with the army.
That's it. So you need height.
At 6 months ago I got promoted to outreach manager. which is basically running the attendance side of it and trying to set up community-based activities.
Push.
The other ranks Naffy Club on the last night. The beer has flowed, and the unofficial prize giving is about to start.
8th place, bloke with half a brain, Rogers, 40 pounds. Joint 8th place, and he really went for this one, was our man Ayres. Where's Brains? Okay, quiet. 7th place with 46 points, the big Spick himself. Oh, Spicky Batsaloo. Go!
The official prize giving happens the following morning, and there is a surprise in store for one of our 4 volunteers.
Prize for the best overall recruit on R7 of 87 has been awarded to Private New, Royal Regiment of Wales.
Stephen New is shaking at the knees with nerves.
You hear your name and you think, oh no, I've got to walk out in front of everyone, you know. There's going to be an officer there, pips on his shoulders, and you've got to look cool, calm and collected. And I thought, there's no way am I going to be able to stop shaking out there.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start to your army career.
Thank you very much.
Have you done anything like it in the past?
No, I've only been in TA 6 weeks first.
TA 6 weeks. Well, that
Yeah.
shows a bloody good start, doesn't it?
Thank you, sir.
All right, make sure you continue it.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
After we reformed, then I started thinking, oh yeah, I've done it.
3 months later, in the thick of the strenuous 48-hour-long Prince of Wales competition, Private Stephen New is on the ranges at Senny Bridge in South Wales.
The first aid was good. You know, made you think, you know, what you would do if you did come across an accident, you know.
You're still not breathing.
The first aid exercise is one of many, involving signalling, nuclear and biological warfare, weapon tests, interspersed with runs, forced marches and very little sleep. There is even a waterborne exercise. Richard Hunt is in the lead assault boat.
We also had to do a boat race, which was fun. It was very hard work, having just finished the march, but it was very enjoyable. And there was a sense of achievement once we knew that we'd got back in the time allotted, and also knocked time 2 minutes off the previous fastest time.
Well done.
Now, after all the other events, they are on the last and most grueling physical tests of all. A 5-mile run in full fighting order, complete with rifle, then a battle course, then a live rounds shooting competition. Each platoon has to arrive with every member over the battle course.
Come on, Bats. Come on, Bats, get on me. If I can tell you, mate. No. That's it. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Stephen New is carrying someone else's rifle as well as his own.
Come on, boys! Come on, Batsy, now! Push him on, 20 feet. Push him on. Come on. Come on. Open your legs. Come on. Oh, come on. Run. Run, you. Go, 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 go. Come on. Side, Batsy. See, I'm sure.
You're in front now. Come on, come on.
Go on! Right down it. Get your best, come on. Come on. Get up. Get back up. Come on, Chapman. Jump the press. Come on. On their hand. Come on, James. Push that kid up. Go. Push, Chapman. Pull him up. Push. Shin's coming up. Come on, mate.
Right, steady now, Vatsal. Get over here and go like that. Steady now, come on.
Take your time on the obstacles.
Come on, Crap. Get on the log.
Right, go.
Come on.
We knew exactly what to expect. We knew that there would be walls to climb over. But with the varying levels of experience within our group, it was difficult to coordinate it. There were people who had only been in for a matter of weeks, who hadn't done anything like Litchfield and were hoping to perform as well, which I don't think was a viable proposition.
Adrian Rogers' feet are covered in blisters and bleeding from an earlier run. He is nearly at the end of his tether. But somehow or other he is still moving forward, still trying. And that is what this exercise is really all about.
Well done. Run past the rope, boys. Next bloke's at it.
Come on, Steve, come here with me now. Good hand is back. Come on, lad. Push it. Come on, Kilby. Come on in the back. Push it. Yeah. Pull this. Come on, you. Come on, you're going to pass it back. Come on, Kilby, go.
You know, you think to yourself, why am I doing this, like, you know? But you just get over it then, like,
Come on. Come on.
You think to yourself, like, giving up for my weekend, like, for, you know, getting dirty, you know, that's what I wanted. That's what I want.
Go. Forward, never mind. Jump backward. Stay here, get a feet, another pass the rope back. Pass the rope. Right, get the rope off him. Get the rope off him. Think of your teammate.
Come on.
Come on, drive on.
Come on, boys.
Right, go.
He's been 38.
Me.
Yeah, mate.
Right.
How do you feel now?
Come on, lads. Absolutely nothing. Come on! Come on! Come on, lads!
How do you think you've done?
Come on!
Very well. I think we've done all right.
Come on! Lift it up! Go on, off me back! Specialist, get in there now! Come on, let's go! Get it! Specialist up first, come on!
Stephen New is giving enormous encouragement to the others and is aware that Mark Vatslu now needs a lot of help. Vatslu hardly knows where he is.
What gives me the shivers when I think about it, actually, is the most exhausted I've actually ever been. I mean, you're actually pushing your body to places it's never been before, really. If you're fit, then obviously it wouldn't be so bad, but at the time I wasn't fit and I had the flu as well, which made things worse.
What we'd worked out was me and another lad would try and get to the front on the assault course bit until we got to the wall, and then we would act as a base for people going over the wall. The main thing I remember about the wall is seeing Mark's face when he came up to it, and he looked totally exhausted, and he was kind of standing at the side, and all of a sudden I kind of pushed someone over, and I just saw him standing there.
You still want to be in the army?
Yeah. Try and grab on this side.
Go on, clean your weapon! Clean your weapon! On your feet, go on, get your weapon!
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Get your weapon! Come on, get your weapon, please! Get your weapon, please! Get him on the
Adrian is now so exhausted he can hardly stand up. He may not make it over the wall.
Where's the finish?
Let's see this wall.
Right, sort your weapons out, come on! Number 15!
A minor casualty from a boot in the face while climbing the wall, but he's still got to go on and shoot.
Come on! Get up here! Come on! Feet! Get your knees on the wall! Get up there! Stand up, stand up. Good. Come on, more. Come on. Come on. Get up there. Come on my back. Come on. Get up there. Come on. Give me a knife. Come on.
Stephen, was that tougher than you thought?
Come on. Anyway. That was all right.
It's tough, but it's fun.
Figures.
What I mean? How do you think you've done?
Well, I don't know. I hope we've won, but
I hope we have.
After all that, we better have done. Go. Get away. Go. That's mine. Go. He's got my weapon.
Come on.
Get his gun up.
Come on.
Get his gun up. Levy, get his gun up.
Rogers, Rogers, come here, you. Get over there. Right, stop. Put it in the blanket. Stand there. The blanket outside the street.
Adrian is just about going to make it, but he knows that his platoon will score no points until he crosses the stream and lands on that piece of grass on the other side.
Adrian, let's go. Come on, boys! How was that? Come on, you got the rest of the team to get in yet? Come on, Adrian, tell Come on! How was that, Adrian? Come on!
Can't feel my legs.
You still want to be in the army?
Oh, I don't know.
Here you go, boys, let's go!
Come on!
I'm delighted with you. No impression. It's slightly late in the day, but well done.
Thank you, Gaston.
Obviously displayed real qualities of leadership doing that.
Well, we like to think it was a team effort.
Somebody help there! Ready? Yeah! Go on! Help each other! Why is keep your legs straight?